Hey, it's Lisa Robbin Young, and this week the convo is all about dream shame. Dream shame meaning you're ashamed of the scale of your dream. And here's where I get to do a little bit of confessing, because as a child, when I was about 2 or 3 years old, just before we moved into the house that I grew up in, I have memories of standing on my toy box. It was a big wooden toy box about 6 feet long, and it had wainscoting for the top of the lid for the toy box. And I remember standing on it, singing and dancing for anybody who would sit still long enough to let me entertain them. And one day my foot went through the toy box because I was getting too big to be standing on the top of it, and I broke my stage. And I remember it as my stage, not as my toy box, to give you an idea of how wrapped up in the idea of being a performer, a rock star, if you will, how wrapped up I was in that as a child. And as I got older, I continued to pursue music all the way through high school. And I remember as a senior, I had 2 6-hour classes because the choir director and the band director were fighting over who got to have me in their class, which was a really great feeling. But at the same time, it just illustrates how wrapped up in music I was at the time. And I went on to college. And before I went to college, my grandmother, who was dying, pulled me aside and said, if you're going to go to college, please make me a promise that you'll stay close to home. And I did. And because I'm a woman of my word, I kept my promise and I stayed close to home. And I ended up giving up a full ride scholarship to the college I really wanted to attend in California because I had made this commitment to my dying grandmother. In the last year or so of high school, I remember my mother and other people in my family saying, it's really great that you want to be a musician, but that's a hard life to live. And, you need to go to college and get your degree and have a fallback plan. And all of that well-meaning advice that was coming out of a family who had not had any of the children in my generation go to college yet. In fact, in my immediate family, I was the first person to consider going to college. My mom ended up going to college and graduating from college as I was graduating from high school. But I knew in junior high school that I was going to go to college. So it was an interesting dynamic in my family. We were inner city, welfare family. College was just not something on the radar. And so here I am with a full ride opportunity to go and study. And they were pushing really hard in a very loving, supportive, well-meaning way. And it was all about doing the thing that was safe versus honoring the dream that I'd had in my heart since I was very young. And because I loved my family and because I trusted them, I took their well-meaning advice and I did what they asked me to do. And that choice has shaped the life that I've lived since then. And I'm not saying that choice was good or bad, because I believe that all of the choices that we make lead us to the point that we're at in our lives. So I can clearly say that had I not made that choice, I wouldn't be sitting here today telling you this story. That said, there was something that I harbored for nigh on 20 years that left me feeling shameful and embarrassed about this dream that I had to be a world-famous performer. And I used to use the term be a rock star. I've gotten clarity that I have no desire to be a rock star. My musical interests are in a different direction. But the idea of being on a stage in front of thousands and thousands of people and impacting millions of lives all over the world was something that was planted in my heart when I was very little. And it didn't feel to me like I was doing it because I wanted to be rich and famous and have lots of money. I believed, and I still believe, that it's in my heart because it's what I'm supposed to do in the world. It's the impact that I'm supposed to make in the world for whatever reason. I personally believe God put it there, but maybe that's not your faith foundation, and maybe you see your dream or your calling in a different way. The point of what I'm trying to get at here is the scale of your dream doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have an Oprah global size scale dream or you have a nuclear family, be the best mom you can be scale dream. The scale doesn't matter. And you have no need to be ashamed of what has been put in your heart to do in this world. And we live with dream shame all the time, especially when we're in a situation where the people around us don't dream on the same scale that we do. And so today I want to challenge you to look at what really matters to you and what dreams have been put in your heart and what dreams have you pushed aside, brushed under the rug, tried to pretend like weren't there because of the shame that you felt from the well-meaning forces around you. It's not that these people don't like you. It's not that these people want to see you miserable. They don't understand. And that's as it should be. Everybody gets to have their own dream scale. And no one should be ashamed of the scale of their dream. Including me, including you. So today, I would challenge you to dust off your dreams and be proud of what they are for what they are, because there's nothing wrong with you for having the dreams that you have, even if they don't match up to the scale that other people around you have. It's your dream. Honor your dream because you're the only person who can.